Welcome to another artist problem. And you watch these videos because you're an overachiever. I've seen your studio. You've got stuff everywhere. You are working on so many projects. It's like you're lost in a stream of your own creative consciousness. You epitomize the opposite of creative block because you got so many projects. I don't know though. Maybe you do have creative block. But how could that be possible? You've got all these things going on. What do you mean, MikeNotJerry? How could you possibly think that I don't have enough going on? How could I have creative block? Well, therein lies the artist problem. When you have so many projects going on, what that means is each project's getting a little bit less attention. As you add more projects, less and less projects have attention. It's almost like having too many children. You start forgetting their names. So what is the problem? Is it a form of procrastination? Is it a form of literally having like very surface level ideas and wanting to get them all out and everything? But again, it goes back to this whole thing that you're probably not giving enough attention to any one project if you've got too many projects going on. You've got ideas, but are they getting anywhere? Are they developing? Are they progressing? Or are you delaying because you were like, well, I'm not ready to go to the next level with X, Y, and Z. So actually I want to start something else. So what am I trying to say? I think that you should take some time to reel it in. That was kind of like, I was like whittle it back, but then I realized I was reeling, so it was kind of reel it in. I think it's time that you reel it in a little bit. So is there a magic number for how many projects you should have at once? I'm not saying you have to have a monogamous relationship with one piece of art, but you don't want to get lost in an art orgy either. So what is the right number of projects? It's not going to be this, straight and narrow rule. There are plenty of artists that have multiple projects out, but that's sort of their method, and they can complete the projects because there's some sort of methodical way they're going about it. Some artists like to, let's say, prime all their canvases a certain color and then go through all their canvases and do their base layer. That's a system. That's systematic. That's different. I'm not talking about those artists. I'm not talking to the artists that have so many projects going on, but there's a plan. I mean the artists, I'm talking to you artists out there that don't really have a plan. You're just creating a bunch of stuff. And it's great that you want to create. I'm not putting that down. But the point is, how much are you finishing? This is becoming more of a distraction than it is a way to fuel you to create and finish pieces of art. So you have to find this balance between distraction and being hyper-focused, because you don't want to be hyper-focused on one thing either. If you want to compromise with yourself, I've come up with what I suggest. Okay, this is, in my opinion, the right amount of projects to have for me and what I've been trying to focus on for myself. What is my magic number? My magic number, in my opinion, is 3 projects at once. Okay, why 3? Well, I think you should have one project that you are seriously working on. Something that, whether it's something that you want to get paid for, or something that you're doing for your job, or it's something that you want to make for yourself, but really want to give it all the, tender love and care that it deserves. Okay, this is what I would call your long-term project. A lot of these projects that are kind of super serious might take a little bit longer. I mean, some can take hours, days, weeks, months. It just depends on what kind of materials you're using, what your subject is, what your process is. That's fine. But the point is, this one project is your serious project, and it's for the long game. So the second project is a passion project. Okay, this can fall into the long-term category, but it might be a short-term one. But it's something that you do that really you're doing to bring you joy, whether it's helping you relax, or maybe it's helping you get some kind of feelings that you're having inside out onto paper, onto canvas, onto whatever you're painting on. It's a passion project, and that should have some fire to it. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's about you. It's a very deep-seated ego, one of those Freudian terms inside you that you're trying to put out there for other people to see. And the third that I recommend, and probably the most important, is a dabble. A doodle? A dab-a-doodle? I've talked in some of my other videos about throwaway journals. A project that you are doing intentionally that doesn't really matter that much to you. I call it the testing project, okay? So if you've got 3 art projects you're working on, this is your testing one. This should be low pressure. You can tell yourself you're gonna throw it away. This project's where you're gonna go when you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and you need to take a step back from that serious project or that passion project. This project is where you go back to your roots of dabbling and sort of just going back to the fun of making art, okay? Not making fun of art, the fun of making art. There is a difference. The point is for this third project to help you with the other two. You know how they say, like, take a step back from your painting to get some perspective? This is a way to kind of clear your mind and just release the pressure, because I don't know about you, but again, this is all in my opinion. Pressure starts to mount the longer I work on one thing, and you need to release that pressure somehow. And to me, having something where it's like, this doesn't matter, I'm practicing. Like, you don't even have to actually be making a piece of art. It can just literally be exercises or just like swatching your paints out on different surfaces. Something that just is meditational to you. Okay, we're trying to get that state of zen, that kind of state of calmness, where you are almost in a transient state where you're just kind of letting whatever happen, and you're not all worried about the nuances and is this going to be good enough, and are other people going to judge it and are going to see it, or will people buy it? This is just let loose. And if there's any stress in this third project, you're doing it wrong. This final project is really supposed to be for you to just have some fun and remember why you're doing art in the first place. I'll tell a little story here. We started Burning Oak Studios, the company that, you know, does all the filming here for Jerry's Artarama. And after a couple years of doing it, and we were doing a lot of videos, I mean, it was a lot of stuff we were making. I mean, we still make a lot of videos today. I felt myself kind of burning out. And for me, what I like the most, because I'm not really a video editor or, you know, a cinematographer, I'm, you know, a producer, an entertainer. I direct a little bit, you know, of the stuff we do here. At the end of the day, my roots is entertaining. I like theater. I was a theater kid. I like acting. I'm a student of all the arts, as I like to say. And I remember feeling burnt out of that. I remember sitting on my couch at home feeling really stressed, and my wife said to me, let's try to watch the first episode of Glee. Yes, Glee. That's a show from a while ago. If you've ever seen Glee, or maybe you haven't, the pilot episode is about a teacher that is going to a new school, and he is teaching Spanish, but he's not really passionate about it, and he finds that there's these students that want to start a Glee club. I don't remember the nuances. It's been a long time since I've seen this, but I do remember he winds up at the end of the episode walking into the auditorium and finds all these kids rehearsing. I think that earlier in the episode they asked him, you know, like, will you be our, you know, Glee instructor or our singing instructor? And he was just like, no, I don't really know about this. And he goes in there and he sees them doing it, and there's something that hits him, and he sees the passion they have, and it brings it out of him. And I think it ends with him saying something like, all right, guys, rehearsals start tomorrow. Like, he realizes that's what's calling him. Now, this is really not a perfect analogy, but the point is you have to have something that helps you bring you back to the reason you got started in the first place. And for me in that moment, it was seeing this pilot episode of Glee and kind of rediscovering my love of performing, which got me motivated. I came in the next day and we started doing a whole new, different type of video. We were moving it up, we were shaking it up, and we were evolving, and that's part of it. And to evolve is more than just practice. It's more than just trying something new. It's about remembering that feeling, that spark that got you motivated to break out those pencils, break out those paints, and start creating art. That's the message I'm trying to go with that there. So if you have so many projects going on, nothing's getting really enough attention, and you're not going to likely be able to finish everything if you're just continue to just start things and start things and start things. So maybe your magic number isn't 3, that's 4. Maybe your magic number, let's edit that out, nobody needs to see that. Maybe your magic number isn't 3. I was so nervous that I did it again, I had to check. Maybe your magic number is not 3, okay? Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 2. But the point is to always remember why you got into it in the first place, because you can burn yourself out, and having all these projects that never get done, it's very demoralizing after you've been doing this for, let's say, a year, and you realize, you know, I haven't completed a piece of art in like 12 months, and next thing you know, you're not doing art anymore. You're like, well, why am I doing this? Because you've done too much. Reel it in. Have some focus, but also have that thing, whatever that thing is, whether you are doing your super high-end long-term project or the short-term project. If you are stressed, that is not the time to do art. You're doing it wrong. That is when, if you're feeling stress, pressure. Now, I understand that some people have deadlines and that can cause it. But in that moment, if you're conscious that you're like, I am like stressing out about this, take a step back, take a step away. go to that third project or whatever number project is for you, that low pressure thing, to help give you a sense of rejuvenation of why you are doing this in the first place. And you might find that it helps you break that, well, creative block you might have actually been having. How many projects are you working on at once? Is this a problem for you? If so, let me know down below. How many things are currently around you in your studio or your art space that you're working on? Do you need to whittle it down? Let me know below. It's important that everybody sees what's going on. I mean, maybe I'm completely off base on this and I just had some kind of overwhelming problem, but I've seen this a lot. But for me, based on just anecdotal evidence, people that I've met and I've seen this happen. And I'm wondering, this is actually a video about, I'm asking for you to let me know if I'm crazy or not. Is this a problem? Do you have too many projects out at once? Now, I'll tell you this right now. I know when I come up here and do these real talk artist problems, I'm not going to get 50,000 views. I might not even get 2,000 views, okay? These real talks are meant just for you. The people that click on this video that understand that there's nuances, these little things, these little sound bites that might help take your art to the next level. You're looking for something, and if I can help you find it, then I've succeeded. If just one person that watches this video and be like, you know what, maybe I should cut it back, or you know, maybe I'm not doing enough, whatever it is, if it changes your perspective of what you're doing, I'll feel like I've succeeded. Always remember the necessity versus desire. Do you really need to have as many projects out as you do, or is it just a desire thing? Is your ego involved? When it comes to like that ego, you know, it could be like weightlifting. Does your ego get in the way? Sometimes I feel like, you know, I should be able to, you know, lift, you know, 50 pounds, right? And I'm doing it, but like I am like, I'm straining, okay? I'm not working on my form. I'm not working on properly building even muscles. And quite frankly, I might hurt myself. It's important that you don't allow your ego to get in the way of your artwork. And that desire to create doesn't get in the way of the necessity of what you need to do. Desire is good. I'm saying desire is good. But I desire to lift more weights. That doesn't necessarily mean I should try to lift heavier. It might just mean I need to do it correctly a little longer. So don't look for the shortcuts. Do the path that works for you, and I got your back, okay? I hope that this has been helpful, and just to kind of just sum everything up, because that's what I do, remember to keep your projects to the rule of 3. You've got a serious project, your passion project, and your low priority project, and there is a fourth thing, which is me on Instagram at MikeNotJerry. That made no sense. Where I will hopefully continue to inspire you with various art things, art-related things, and personal things that I put up there. If this was helpful to you, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to be notified, because you've been watching one of these special videos that I don't make for the masses. I make just for you. And if you don't want to miss another one, ring that bell to be notified. And I'll see you on the next artist problem. Yeah, still hate ending videos that way, but here I go.